Clear! Ah! Welcome back to the Narrative Inc. podcast. I have my co-host again. He is not... he doesn't normally abuse animals, and he's not dead. So, thank you so much for watching.
I'm back.
I'm Colton. This is Sam.
Yeah. If you like what you're watching, you can subscribe to this YouTube channel. It's a big red button right below this video. If it's not red, it means you've already subscribed and you get a jelly bean. That's probably actually trademarked. I shouldn't say that. Anyway, you can also find us on Instagram at Narrative Inc. And then we have a website. All of our links are in this description. Leave a like and comment. We like to get in touch with you. We like all that stuff. I'm just happy to be back. What are we talking about today?
Well, today we are just doing a general review of NaNoWriMo, how you're doing, how you feel about the whole writing thing. I guess like life changes that you're making because you realized like what your true passion is and all that. Yeah, just general update. So, Sam, how was NaNoWriMo? How was your first time like building the habit of writing every day? How did that go?
Well, the habit of writing is there.
Aside from the injuries and pain.
Oh yeah, I wasn't going to talk about those on camera. Anyway, so I did build some good writing habits just about every day I was writing, even just a little bit on my NaNoWriMo project. As the month went on, I started not enjoying my project as much, and I was like, this is kind of lame. No one's going to read this, so how about I do something people will enjoy? And so I started writing for my D&D campaign again, and then I started writing for my Warhammer stuff, and then I just started writing down a bunch of ideas, and then I'm in the habit of writing now and putting my ideas onto the paper, and I have a lot of projects I'm excited to get started on, and gonna start them soon. Yeah. So that's how that went.
Nice. Well, so how do you feel like now that you've built up the habits and you're doing it, you kind of found your purpose, what you want to write? How does it feel to go from never really working on too much consistently to kind of just being more consistent?
It feels good. I feel like I'm actually doing stuff. I'm actually succeeding in a passion that I've had. I feel like I'm making progress where normally I just kind of sat and twiddled my thumbs.
Yeah. Nice. No, that's really awesome because we haven't really talked much recently.
No,
and so it's good to hear that.
I haven't talked to anyone recently.
Again, I just brought him back to life with hot cocoa. You're allowed to drink now, by the way.
Oh, finally, yes. He told me I had to stop drinking earlier.
Yeah, he's got a real drinking problem, especially.
It's going to be on very soon now.
Especially with hot cocoa. But no, that's really good. So what do you think the main lessons that you learned from NaNoWriMo, but also just from what we've been doing?
Well, there's always something I could be writing. And if I have that time that I want to be creative and I'm in the headspace, then there's something that I can get out on the paper.
Okay.
That's the biggest thing I've learned is no matter how busy I am, because I've built this habit and I really, really love it, I'm going to find time to do something. Lesson-wise, I think the biggest thing I've learned is if you love something and you love doing it, even in moments where you think you don't want to do it, you can get yourself to do it.
Very true. Yeah. I mean, we've mentioned it before, but your life is super hectic. You have a lot of things going on. But, before we started recording, you were just saying how you found that you could write like 50 to 100 words.
Yeah.
Did you ever use the toilet method like we discussed?
I didn't.
You did not?
I did.
Dude.
Because I work as a night manager at my place of work. I don't know if I've said it on camera yet. Probably have. But sometimes, and I hope no one I know is watching this, but sometimes if I really need to go, I'll go, and I'll be there a little longer because I'm writing.
Oh my gosh.
After some technical difficulties, we have returned to our scheduled programming.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay. So, moving forward, I think one thing that will be really good for you just as a writer, both for D&D and Warhammer and just regular life stuff, or your just stories in general, is short stories. It's something that we're going to be pushing a lot this next year. It's something that I think a lot of writers put less value in because it's not a big, epic novel. like we're going to be having the 52 weeks of writing challenge, which is one short story every week prompt that you write. It's going to be very difficult, but I think it's going to be really awesome to get people to just start writing. I have a few friends who are going to do it. I think even if you don't hit every single week, it's similar to the vein of like NaNoWriMo or like Inktober, or Swordtember, any of those like do this every day for a month thing. But this is like every week for a year of writing a short story. And so even if you decide to do just a couple hundred words of a short story based on the prompts, I think that could be really helpful because as Ray Bradbury said, it's impossible to write 52 bad short stories in a row. You'll at least get one good one in there.
Funny story. I kind of saw something about this in our Discord, right? And I was like, oh, cool, what's this? And I looked into it a little bit, and I realized that some of those small projects I'd been stepping away from my NaNoWriMo project to work on was a collection of ideas that I wanted to turn into basically a book of short stories in my world I made for D&D called Tales from Aurelius, where it's just a big collection of a bunch of little stories from the world all in one. And, maybe they'll connect at some point, but...
Yeah. So you could say it's kind of like an anthology.
Yes, I don't know what that means.
Well, we are announcing today the Narrative Inc. anthology that we're going to be writing next year.
Ooh.
And what we'd love to do. So we're still discussing all the themes and everything, but we want to get a collective of writers. You, me, McKay, and a couple other people that I work with or that you guys work with. And then we want to just make a collection of short stories and publish it. So, is that something you'd be interested in?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Now that NaNoWriMo's kind of over, and that was like our whole point for the podcast, that's what we were doing. What are we going to do now?
At least the start of it, right? Yeah. So now I think we're just going to focus on the actual writing skills and really whatever we think would be helpful for you and other writers. Because we want, as Narrative Inc., to be a guide and a resource and a hub for people. We are, in general, adding back a lot of author interviews which we could bring on authors for this and that be part of the podcast, or we just, we keep those things separate. But in general, I think just a lot of really good writing tips and updates and things that will help writers improve and be better.
Yeah.
Is there, what would you like to see as a new writer and as somebody who's been more consistent as like tips or tricks or help with this?
I watch a lot of your videos just on the main channel, and I love the format that you've got there for when you do the writing tip videos of how they're very concise.
Yeah.
Right. For the podcast, though, I think that we could go more into depth on some of those topics, and give like big examples and do little workshops and stuff, like a little masterclass almost.
Okay, yeah. We could even bring in a whiteboard.
Yes, a big old, just right back here, and we just write on the whiteboard.
Yeah. No, I think that's a great idea. We could definitely do that and make it sort of like a masterclass type situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's going to be the main focus, is turn it into kind of like a masterclass where we have a specific focus, possibly off of the videos that we did earlier that week, whether it's a lesson from a famous author or whatever it may be. I think that's a good focus and something that we will do for the future too. So,
yeah.
Any final thoughts or questions or ideas that you want to share?
I think that we hit a lot of notes for this one, and we've already given our editor a big headache, so maybe we should leave it there. But
awesome.
If you guys enjoyed, as we said earlier, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel. We have a Discord. The link's also in the description. The link to all of our other stuff is in the description. Follow us for updates, for tips, for tricks. We're going to be doing tons, and 2024 is going to be a big year for us.
Yep.
So please, we hope you enjoyed. Go ahead and leave that like and comment, and I guess we'll see you next time.
Yeah, we'll see you next time.